Hey guys, I'm Freddie, I'm the developer of VariableAsAService, and today I'm here to show you how easy it is to integrate a service into your app and build a full stack application without ever touching a server or a database. If you're wanting to follow along, you can find the tutorial for this demo in the VaaS docs under the first VaaS app. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to want to do is sign up for an account on VariableAsAService. I've already got one, so I'm going to click login instead, but if you don't, just click get started. It'll take you to the register page and you can get going. Now that I'm logged in, I've been taken to my dashboard where I can see I've got my profile details, my API key management, all of the variables I've created, as well as my API usage for the day. What we're interested in first is the API key management. So we'll need to read and write to our variable to get our app working. So we'll go ahead and change that now. Let's just make sure it's set to read write. Then in your variables, we're going to click the plus button to create a variable. We're going to name this chat messages. The visibility can be whatever you want, but private is probably good practice for this. Now we're going to set it to JSON and we're going to set the initial value to an empty array. Great, and we can see it's been created on our dashboard here. So we're going to take a note of this ID being 8 as we'll need that for later. We're also going to copy the API key just so we have it for when we need it. As you can see, I've just headed to the VaaS docs and I've got the tutorial up here, so I'm going to copy this line of code to scaffold my React app with Vite. And I'll call that VaaS chat app. Nice, so let's cd into that. Install dependencies. And then let's run the development server. As you should see, we've got the default Vite and React page. As you can see, I've opened up the project in my text editor, and now I'm going to need to install the VaaS client. So I'm going to head over to installation. I'm interested in the TypeScript client, so I'll click TypeScript. And now I'll save this in the source directory of my project. And nice, we can see it in our VS Code. Here you can see the next step in the tutorial is to create the chat screen. So I'm going to copy this code and put it into our app.tsx. Give that a save and we should see it in the browser. Look at that, so we can enter our username and we have an example message displaying. Now back into the docs and you can see the next step is we need to connect to the VaaS API. So we're going to copy this and place it at the top of app.tsx. Now remember we copied our API key, so let's paste that in here now. You can see we've done it a bit out of order, so we've already done this step. But let's move on to fetching the chat messages. So you can see we're going to place this code just below our send message function. Make sure we import useEffect as well. Next we've got displaying the chat messages, so we'll just copy this and replace the UL that we already have. And lastly, on to sending the messages. So if we copy this function and we replace our send message function in app.tsx. So last step, we actually need to replace these variable IDs that you can see here with the ID of our variable. Awesome, and if we open that up in the browser, we should have our app fully working. So if we head to the browser, enter our username, and now let's type a message. And look at that, it appears. So let's now open a new tab and give it the real test. Can we see the messages? Nice, so we can see the message from the other user. Now let's send our own. And if we go back to the previous tab, we can see our messages appeared. And look at that, we've built a real-time chat app with the power of VariableAsAService in under 5 minutes with no servers and no databases. So that's it for the demo. I hope you enjoyed and I look forward to seeing what you can build with VaaS. Thanks for watching.